Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Halloween season is over, but it's never too late to have a spooky, scary session with your friends, or maybe all by yourself. If you're a horror movie and haunted house fan, this video is for you. In this video, we'll enlist the scariest haunted attractions you can visit to be drawn off your feet. So let us begin. Number 10. The Dent Schoolhouse. We'll begin our journey at Cincinnati, Ohio at the Dent Schoolhouse. Now, the best part of this haunted house is that it's a legitimately haunted attraction if you choose to believe in such kinds of things. The legend tells us that in 1942, a few students would go missing at the school, and that's when the school started to develop an odd pungent smell. The janitor assured everyone that it's just the smell of the bathtub plumbing, and shortly thereafter, the smell dissipated. However, it didn't do so for long. In 1955, the familiar odd smell rose in the air of the school again, and that's when a group of people busted down the basement door, only to find the missing students' dead bodies. Shortly after the horrifying discovery, the janitor disappeared. These days, if you visit the Dent Schoolhouse, you're going to relive that entire experience, and you may also see a ghost or two roaming the hallways, as people have claimed to see the ghosts of the children and the creepy janitor roaming in there. Besides the real ghosts, this horror attraction feels like an interactive horror flick, and all thanks to the incredible animatronics, outstanding makeup, and scary storyline that makes it one of the scariest haunted attractions in America. Number 9. Erebus. Pontiac, Michigan is home to many haunted attractions, so haunted houses have to be really scary and outstanding in order to get attention. That's why the Erebus owners, Edward and James Erebus, have spared over 35 years of their lives to make one of the best horror walkthroughs ever created. Even though it's open only during the Halloween season, employees work tirelessly for the whole year to come up with the best ideas and effects that you'd rarely find in any other haunted house. This 4-story, half-mile horror experience would put you through sensory overload, and that's because it's loaded with everything that you've ever feared, including a dark dungeon full of unsettled spirits and an undead doll room. So if you really don't enjoy people being inside your personal bubble, you should probably stay away from this one, because around every single corner, there's someone or something waiting to pounce, grab, and bite you. Depending on how far you make it, you may be buried alive at some point too. Number 8. Scariest, the basement. The basement of Scariest is located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it's the perfect mix of theater and thrill. As you prepare to enter this 100-year-old haunted historic house, either all by yourself or with a friend, you have to sign a waiver that says you are aware of the violence, the sexual content, the extreme physical contact, the religious content, and the electric shock that waits for you inside. Once you're inside, you've signed up for an intense interactive experience that you're never going to forget. In every room, actors wait to interact with and, of course, terrify the heck out of you. However, it's not your regular scripted kind of experience, as the actors plan your reactions, and much of the dialogues are extempore, which makes it feel like a personalized horror film that's created just for you. As you move forward, the actors will give you electric shocks and become closer and more personal, which some people enjoy, while others don't. So if you're freaked out, you just have to yell out the safe word, and you'll be set free. Number 7. Freakling Brothers Gates of Hell Victim Experience 3. Are you looking for a haunted house that's less about the massacre and is more realistic? Well, then we'd recommend you Freakling Brothers Victim Experience 3, which is even more intense than their R-rated Gates of Hell experience. Like many other great things, you'll find this horror attraction in Las Vegas, opened in 2011. The Gates of Hell was the first R-rated haunted house in Nevada, and it's still very popular today. The Gates of Hell simulate a terrifying kidnapping experience and your impending death. The Freakling Brothers describe it as absolute sensory overload. Due to its popularity, they've created an even more intense version of it called the Victim Experience 3. Not only do the actors plan your worst fears, but the new version also forces you to face it alone. The waiver states that you should be okay with extreme physical contact, sexual content, violence, and torture, such as being submerged in water and even being electrocuted. So if you're actually into that sort of thing, this might be the place for you. Number 6. The Blackout Haunted House. This attraction is so impressive it has 2 locations, one in New York and the other one in California. This haunted house offers off-season events that ensure to scare you all year round. Before getting into it, you have to sign a waiver, and there's no guessing why. Because the walk-through theater-like experience involves a lot of violence, physical contact, sexual content, and nudity, along with simulated waterboarding. The specialty of Blackout is that it's always changing, so you never know what you're going to go through once you get inside. Some people have reported that they were kidnapped and submerged in water, while the really unlucky ones were told to undress, after which they were rolled in a plastic sheet. Number 5. The Dead of Night. Located on Long Island, New York, the Dead of Night was the ultimate horror attraction, and they made sure you'd actually never be able to forget them. At the grand opening in 2013, "We're Here for Your Protection" would play repeatedly on the loudspeaker. Every so often, the sirens would go off and people in suits and gas masks would run into the crowd, grab their victims, and drag them into the house, one way or the other. Some people were thrown over their shoulders, while others were even thrust into body bags. However, every year had a different theme, so you never knew what you'll have to deal with when you step inside. Number 4. The Cult. As with the Dead of Night, this haunted house is no longer open, but this one deserves a shout out anyway. Similar to many other haunted houses in the list, the attraction, which was located on North Conway, New Hampshire, involved violence, sexual content, and physical touching, requiring you to sign a waiver, where a safe word was disclosed to use at any time. This is something that you'd have to endure alone, which is really not a big deal, right? However, once you stepped inside, it got a little bit weird. Some participants reported to have been forced to drink fake urine, but the worst part, in our opinion, is the portion that has cockroaches crawl all over you. So it's really no wonder why this hasn't been open since 2012. Number 3. Haunted Hoochie at Dead Acres. This thrilling adventure is one of the most sensitive types out there. Before you enter, you see a sign out there that says, "Attention, entering Dead Acres entails known and unanticipated risks that can result in physical or emotional injury." Those risks might include other things like slipping, falling, collision with fixed objects, or other participants, and it may be the best haunted house experience you'll ever have. Yeah, best experience, and have fun as we assault you, throw you around, and chase you as you stumble your way out with a broken leg. Some participants even reported being hit in the head, so we wouldn't rule out concussion either as an unanticipated risk. But remember to have fun in there. And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber. If you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it on a future video. Number 2. This picture here might look scary and daunting, but the interesting thing to note here is that it's not from a haunted house. It seems like a torture chamber, as you can see in the picture that the guy is being tortured with a wet towel on his face. This is actually scarier than a haunted house, don't you guys think? Number 1. Cutting Edge. Coming in at number 1, here we present you the best pick for this video, as nothing seems scarier than a haunted attraction that's set up in an old meatpacking factory. Located in Fort Worth, Texas, Cutting Edge has won multiple awards, and for all good reasons. The attraction received 2 records in Guinness World Records for World's Largest Haunted Attraction in 2009 and World's Largest Walk-Through Haunted House in 2015. This haunted attraction was built in an abandoned 100-year-old meatpacking plant that sits in the area known as Hell's Half-Acre District. From afar, you can see searchlights emanating from the roof of the building, along with a massive 50-foot scary creature watching over you as you drive toward the haunted house. When you walk in, be sure to watch for the original meat hooks and conveyor belts used in the factory back in the day, and you better be ready for a long haul because this haunted house takes about an hour to complete, so get ready for the sensory overload you'll have in there. Let us know in the comments which one of the haunted attractions you're eager to visit, or if there is any haunted house that we missed on the list. Also, make sure to like and subscribe.